Hello, everybody. Intuition here. Thank you so much for making some time and space for us. Today, we wish to talk about the idea of money and how to get a hold of money, or how to not allow money to run so much of our lives. This has been a topic that it seems like everybody and their mother has talked about and discussed. How do you become a millionaire? What is a millionaire? Why are you so poor? And what's wrong with you and your thought systems and beliefs that are making you so poor? And all of the things that have been said about money is valid and true for each and every one of those individuals that have broadcasted those messages. And now it is time for us to share our spin on how it is that intuition, the universal principality that we are, see and understand money. But before we go into that, it is important to understand what universal principality has created money, because once you understand who and what universal principality has created money and why they created it to begin with, it is easier for you to overcome it. It does not seem so vague and elusive once you were able to see through the illusion and why it was created in the first place. So the universal principality, and there are 7 universal principalities that have created this place in which we call Earth. If you are unfamiliar with that, then we have another video that we suggest you look at, because we will not go into depth about it right now. But the universal principality that created the idea of money is the universal principality that is associated with evolution and de-evolution. And why they would create the idea of money is that that is one of the 5 universal principalities that are here that don't remember all it is that they are. And because they do not remember all it is that they are, they yield their power in sometimes a very negative and destructive way that does not allow for the rest of the other universal principalities, the other universal principalities that are in human bodies, to free themselves from the shackles of that powerful universal principality. That is how they like to stay in power, and when they stay in power, they feel that they are the most powerful. And by feeling the most powerful, they feel as though they are getting in touch with all it is that they are. So it is important to understand that money comes from the specific universal principality associated with evolution and de-evolution. So you could see that in anybody who has an abundance of money or no money at all. Money could either put you into very specific states, either an evolutionized state in which you are spending it in a way that it is allowing you to get more in touch with who it is that you are, or you are spending it in a way that you are de-evolutionizing yourself. You are moving away from all it is that you are at a very quick and accelerated rate. Or in the opposite state of affairs, it is very controlling for individuals who don't have enough of it. It creates a sense of lack. It creates a sense of a power imbalance, which therefore that is what the universal principality of evolution and de-evolution is striving for in that sense. They like that power imbalance, because when another universal principality, and a lowercase g God, is not feeling powerful, they feel more powerful. They get to feel superior. So anytime that one God can make another God feel less powerful, they feel all powerful, and they feed off of that energy. And it is easy to do when you have a control mechanism that is universal, like money, to do that for them. So it is important to understand that money comes from that universal principality, because again, when you see what it does, you are not under such an illusion, and it does not have as much control over you. And the universal principality that is evolution and de-evolution is hoping that it does have control over you. That is why it was created in the first place. It needs, again, to have that sense of control, to feel like it has a sense of power, to remember all that it is. But it is remembering all that it is in a negative way, especially when it puts them on a pedestal and puts you beneath them. So the first way of how, again, you get over the idea of money, or you overcome money, or you are able to win the illusion that is money, is A, realizing that it's a control mechanism. It's a control mechanism built to enslave you in some way, not in the physical sense, though it sometimes does have that capability, but in more of the energetic sense. You're enslaved because it puts you in a state of lack. And when you're in a state of lack, you are constantly in a state of fear. You are then pushed away from the truth of all it is that you are, that I'm a universal principle, that I'm a badass within myself, that I have control mechanisms that are on the earth that also put me not in a place of superiority, but put me at equal footing as that universal principality. So for me to be under an illusion that something has control over me, as mundane and simple, as silly as paper, or not even paper, it is losing, money isn't even paper anymore, it is electronic more than it is paper. So the idea that something that it is an electronic wave has more control over me, a universal principality, an energetic frequency, something that created this earth, this place in which we are in right now, that is insanity, true insanity. But every time you fall out of balance with yourself and you move into the illusion that this money has control over you, then you are losing your power. You were moving forward, or excuse me, you were moving forward into their universal principality. You're moving forward into their power stance, and that is then putting you backwards, farther away from all it is that you are. So it is important for you to understand that, because when you allow money to have control over you, then you are losing your power, literally and figuratively in every sense of the word. And so easier said than done on that idea of, well, when you are allowing money to control you, then you're losing your power. Well, money is one of the huge driving forces in this illusion that we are all in. So I don't mean don't continue to go about creating abundance for yourself, creating money, if that's what that means for you. Because it is important for you to live. It is important for you to feed yourself. It is important for you to have nice things and to pamper yourself with the accoutrements that money allows you to buy. But when you start giving all of your energy, putting all of your time, which is another creation from another universal principality, but we won't get into that. This is about money. But when you're putting all of your time into the illusion that is money, when you're putting all of your waking hours, every breath, every ounce of your energy into something that is not inherently you and your universal principality, then you are losing yourself. And every time you lose yourself, you're taking 10 steps forward into another thing that is not you. And in that over-identification, you are losing yourself. And as you continue to lose yourself, you become more and more enslaved to something that is not you. If you were going to be a slave to anything or anyone, it might as well be you, not money, not a thing, not an abstract principle, not something based in material. If you're going to be a slave to anything, you might as well be a slave to yourself. Because in the very least, you'll pay yourself. But evolution and de-evolution is not going to pay you, other than siphoning and taking away all of your energetic presence, taking you away from all it is that you are, so that they feel more powerful than you are, and inherently become more powerful than you are, because you are losing yourself in the abstract concept of money. So again, the idea that I presented you with in this first few lines of this video is, how do you overcome the idea of money? You overcome the idea of money by simply realizing that it is a slavery construct based off of the universal principality that is evolution and de-evolution, to hold you in a state of inferiority, which allows them to feel powerful, which then allows them to gain more power and momentum. And as you continue to fall asleep to your own power, they become more powerful, because there is no powerful being anymore to stop them from continuing to gain and siphon more and more and more power away from another God, which is you. We are all gods. We all here created this place in which we are in. So therefore, it wasn't just evolution that created this place in which we're in. It was all the 7 universal principalities that we are all connections of that helped to create this place. No one universal principality created this place. God, the uppercase G, the all that is God, if that's even what it is that you'd like to call God, as we see God as the universal principality that is curiosity, where it is that we all come from, the divine spark that allows us to continue to live in a physical body as well as in the home in which we originate from. But even that God did not create this place. If he were to create this place, and he is not a he, but again, just to make it easier to understand, if God created this place, they surely wouldn't have created it in this way in which we are seeing things unfold right now. Because in the way that things are right now, it takes away, so to speak, from other lowercase g gods, and it does not allow for the divine curiosities that is God to be curious. It does not allow his curiosity to unfold, because when one lowercase g God takes away from another lowercase g God, it does not allow for that actual experience that would have happened to happen. So God wouldn't have even created what it is that we are seeing now. But of course, God allows everything to continue to happen in this place because God is curious. That is the energy that God is. So therefore, God does not interfere in the crazy escapades that little lowercase g gods are getting into, because that would interfere with all that God is, which is curiosity. So not any one God, uppercase G God, or lowercase g God created this place in which we are in. It is all of us, all seven of us, all seven universal principalities that we are all extensions of, created this place in which we are in. So for one to have more control over another, one of us, is insanity. And for us to even allow it is even crazier. So the first thing and understanding is seeing that it is a power construct. It is a pissing contest. And we keep on pissing away all of our power because we keep on getting lost in the illusion that money actually means something. Now, that doesn't mean that money doesn't mean something. Money still buys us food. It still buys us the accoutrements in which we need to live our lives, so to speak. So we do not say, well, let's just all become monks and throw it all away. Let's have a money-burning party and say, fuck it. That's not what we're saying. Simply what we're saying is see through the illusion so that you could return your power back, so you could put back in balance your idea and identification of what money is. And money isn't everything. Quite literally, it is not anything, but money, sir, shit isn't everything. Would you like to know what everything is? You are. You are everything. You are your own universe. You are a universal principality that, again, created this place in which we're in. You are everything. Money is nothing compared to all it is that you are. And when you start taking back your energy away from the over-identification of what money is or what money can buy you, then that allows you the freedom to move back into all it is that you are and the power construct that you inherently are. And that frees you up from slavery. Because really all money represents, beyond the idea that it comes from the universal principality that is evolution and de-evolution, all money represents is the idea of abundance. And even that is limited. It is the idea of prosperity. That person looks very happy with the car in which they have. That Lambo goes really, really fast. I bet they're really happy when they go really, really fast down the road. So you're not even wanting the money. You're wanting the idea of the joy that the money gives you, which then therefore, again, is your over-identification with something that is not yours. Literally, the Lambo is not yours. Even the person that owns the Lambo, it's not theirs. It's probably the bank's. But even if they did buy it outright, that Lambo is going to break down. The body, the mechanic structure is going to break down. And then therefore, it's just borrowed parts on borrowed time. So that Lambo isn't even that person's. It is simply an illusion, another illusion that they bought into that will temporarily sustain them for a very short amount of time. And it will not give them the joy in which it is that they are seeking. It is just another thing for them to pour their over-identification into, which takes them further away from themselves. Yes, maybe they're happy for a moment while they're going very, very fast down the highway in their Lamborghini. But as they're going very, very fast on the highway in their Lamborghini, guess who it is that they're driving away from? Guess who it is that they're driving very, very fast from? It is not all the poor people in their little Ford Fiestas. It's themselves. They're driving very, very far away from themselves because the time and the energy that was expended to make enough money to then buy that thing, you've already driven so much of yourself away from yourself. You've already lost so much just to buy one small little thing. So you've already lost. Even those that have all this money, that have bought into the illusion, are so lost. Because in the time and the energy that it took you to get that thing finally in physicality, you could have actually spent that time in something way more invaluable. which is finding the truth of all it is that you are, which is timeless. Beyond timeless, it is invaluable. There is no price that you could put on remembering that you're a badass universal principality that created this fucking place in which you are. This earth does not exist, and then therefore you exist. This earth exists because you put it here. Because you made this place. And then for you to forget that and then go chase some paper that's not even paper, now it's all an electronic currency. It's insanity, true insanity. All for the benefit of the universal principality that is evolution and de-evolution. So if you want to give away your power fruitlessly, insanely, then please do not allow us, a little lowercase g, to tell another lowercase g how to live their lives. We will surely never tell you that, because if we were to say that you are wrong, then that would imply that we were right. And that would imply that we're taking away the invaluable lens in which you hold your perspective in. And that would take away from all it is that we are, because we are all on some level connected. So we would never say that you're wrong for chasing money, or that you're silly or stupid or crazy. But we will say it is crazy for you to forget all it is that you are and think that you could find yourself in what it is that you think money can buy you. That is crazy. But again, how we overcome money is simply seeing through the illusion and seeing who created money to begin with, what universal principality created money. And once you see that, then it's relatively easy. But we will move into that. It's easy because you put your energy back into balance within yourself and put the right definition on what money will be able to buy you, because money will not buy you happiness. And I doubt that you're even really looking for happiness. Happiness is fleeting. Happiness is circumstantial. I am happy because I have this. You do not really want happiness. You want joy. Joy is not based in circumstances. Something does not have to happen in order for you to move into joy. Joy is all that you are. Joy is simply being in the present moment. Joy is looking at a beautiful sunset. You do not have to buy the sunset. You do not have to buy the sun. The sun is there, and you feel joy staring into it as it moves from one dimension to the other, as it moves from one place in space to another. You feel joy when you pet a sweet little baby kitten. And maybe you bought that kitten. Maybe you didn't. But there is still joy in being able to look at that sweet kitten's face and feeling its soft fur. That is joy. And yes, maybe you feel joy driving down the highway really fast in your Lamborghini. But is it fleeting, or is it substantial? Is it fleeting, or does it continue to fill you even when the Lamborghini's off? Or do you have to look at it to remember how important you are? To remember how special you are? Because again, if you have to look at it to remember how special you are, then you have an over-identification with something that is not you. And then therefore, you've moved 10 steps away from yourself. So, putting the right definition on what money can really buy you. Money can buy you food, sustenance, can help to meet your needs, but it won't help you to remember all it is that you are. Unless maybe you are the universal principality that is evolution and de-evolution. It might help you in some ways, but it still might block you from remembering all it is that you are. So we remember what money can really buy and what it can't buy. We put our energy back into ourselves and don't go out of balance chasing it. If I'm chasing something, then it's not really meant to be mine to begin with. I don't need to chase something that's inherently mine. If it's mine, then guess what? It's mine. I don't have to chase it. I don't have to kill myself over trying to attain it. It will naturally come to me. But the idea that I have to chase something, that I have to move mountains, that I have to build something into my schedule in order to get something, is, again, you moving mountains, and in you moving the mountains, moving the thing that is actually you to begin with. If you have to move mountains, then you were the fucking mountains, not the money that you're chasing. So why are you moving mountains? You could simply sit in the mountains. And maybe as you sit in the mountains, you could see, oh my goodness, look at this beautiful sunset. Look at all these beautiful trees. You know what? As I sit and I look at this sunset, and I sit and look at these trees, I realize I have all I need. I don't need to buy a house. Maybe I could build the house right here. It's everything I need is right here. I don't need the money to do it. So again, for many of us, everything that we need is really right here, and everything that's meant to be ours will be ours. But if you are hell-bent on chasing something, on being a slave to something that inherently isn't you, then assalamu alaikum. If that's what brings you joy, then please, nothing and no one will stop you. But know that eventually, maybe you'll want to stop yourself, because it does get exhausting chasing things that are not yours. I'm sure all of us can relate to that on some level. Chasing a man or a woman is inherently exhausting. Chasing money is inherently exhausting. Chasing a job opportunity that doesn't seem to, it keeps on elusively falling out of our hands, is exhausting. But when we stop chasing things that we think should be ours, we realize that most of the time we have everything we need right here. And the things that are meant to come to us start coming to us because we were moving too fast before for the things that were actually ours to catch up to us to begin with. The thing is that when you're chasing things that are not yours, the things that are actually meant to be yours can't catch up to you, because you move like a god, ever so fast. I know that there's a saying here that it takes God's time, but that's because you're looking at the uppercase G God. And again, if you're waiting on that God, then good grief. Yes, it might be forever, because that God will not, it doesn't intervene in shit that is not theirs to intervene in. Because again, that blocks the divine universal principality that they are, which is curiosity. And God certainly does not block themselves, but lowercase g gods do. And lowercase g gods move so fast, so blindingly fast, that our own powers, our own universal principality skill set can't even keep up with us, because we're moving faster than the speed of light. So of course, the things that are meant to be ours are lagging behind us. So you have to stop sometimes. Stop chasing. Stop being a slave to something that is not yours. And sometimes something better comes along. But you'll never know, because you're moving at faster than the speed of light, chasing things that are an illusion to begin with. So that's a lot for anybody to take in. We'll stop on that. As always, we thank you for making some time and space for us. We wish you well in your chasing things within the illusion that are not inherently yours, that is your choice to do so. But remember that it is a choice, because now you know better, right, so to speak. Once you are aware of another option, then you no longer have the illusion of denial to say, well, this is the only way for me, because now there are two opportunities. There are two paths to take, like that Frost guy in that poem that he wrote about those two seemingly same paths that he can take. Well, there are two paths because he became aware that there was more than just one path, which allowed him the opportunity to make more of an informed choice and to therefore be and stand within his own powerful universal principality that he is. Whereas before, he was enslaved to a belief system that was holding him stuck. And that belief system is all the time a universal principality just trying to uppercut you. So, we wish you well in your travels and chases. And should you stand still enough for all of the gifts that are trying to catch up to you, then we know you will be surprised and excited to see all the things that you manifested that will actually bring you true joy, because they are meant to be yours to begin with. Well wishes, and good luck on your journey.